Oh boy. Let's get to it, I guess. I'm in culinary arts right now as the last class. I'm hoping that I can maybe finish this today. If anybody joins the chat, then I will definitely be looking. I need all the help I can get. This is not it. I'm not in here. Okay, yeah. We got lamb and pork. That's why there's a lamb chop in the YouTube thumbnail. Should be. All right, here we go. Oh, before I do this, like I'm going on YouTube to set up the stream thing, and I saw this. If it's gonna load, there's an 11-month clock. It's live. It's been going for 4 hours. There's an 11th month and 4 days live stream, I guess. I don't know if they're gonna like restart it after a few days. But it's just been going. I don't know how they're gonna keep this up. I think the longest live stream was like a year, or maybe I'm like messing them something. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just gonna go until December 18th. I wonder if they have like any trailers like in here, because obviously this is not technically live. This is pre-recorded. So like they probably got trailers hooked up to a certain time. I don't know. Anyways, in this lesson you'll be exploring the basics of lamb and pork. Brewing, braising, stewing, roasting. Okay. Okay. Describe the basics of lamb. Sheep. Analyze braising and stewing methods. Okay, I can't do that yet. Describe the basics of pork. Pig. Analyzing roasting methods. Okay. Here we go. Basics of lamb. Read the following assignment. Lamb need not be served as a heavy dish. Well, that's some wise words. Lamb shanks and white beans are always a favorite dish. Good to know. I don't know if I'll be able to read absolutely everything, but I'll try for the beginning. Americans consume much less lamb than people in other countries, probably because they don't want to eat little sheep. For example, lamb is one of the most popular meats in the Far East, Europe, New Zealand, and Australia. The majority of the lamb sold in American markets is imported. Sheep farmers in this country don't produce enough lamb to meet the customer demand. The majority of lamb in the markets is imported from New Zealand and Australia. It's worth noting that the spring lamb produced in America tends to be more tender and have a milder flavor than imported lamb. This is because spring lamb is grain-fed. The lamb in New Zealand and Australia roam the hillside in free-range grazing. The result is a stronger flavor. God, how many times am I gonna like slip up and do weird stuttering and stuff? That's gonna be great. We tend to underestimate the nutritional value of lamb, with all 8 essential amino acids in exactly the right ratios to one another. Lamb protein is nutritionally complete. It's also an extraordinarily good source of protein and high in vitamin B, iron, zinc, and niacin, maybe. Oh, wait.
Niacin.
Cool. I've never done that before. Historical lamb. I don't need you to read that. With its low fat content, lamb is a healthy alternative to fattier meats. Shepherds have raised lamb throughout recorded history. Sheep were highly valued for their wool skins. And milk, blah blah. Okay, I don't care. A small serving of lamb is equivalent to almost half of the recommended daily allowance of protein for men. Allowance? Like, you can't have more than you can't have more than almost 2 lambs, or you're, I don't know, shot. Because of its low fat content, lamb has fewer calories per ounce than beef, and 64% of the fat that's contained in lamb is poly or mono unsaturated fat, which is healthy fat. So is the word polyunsaturated fat or monounsaturated fat? Because poly and mono are like the exact opposites. Whatever. Trim 5 lamb shanks of excess fat, season them all with salt and pepper, and then set them aside. You'll need the following. I don't think I'm in the position to do any live cooking, so I'll just think about doing this, which is pretty much the same. Okay. Review your reading assignment, page 90 to 93. Let's see what we got. Should I put music on? I don't know. Okay, here we go. For most restaurants, the purchase, preparation, and service of meats is one of the most expensive areas of the business, but also one of the most potentially profitable. In order to get the most value out of the meats purchased, it is important to understand how to select the right cut for a particular cooking method. Okay, yep, lemons. Lemons are not meat, so that's great. It did say page, what did this say? Page 90 to 93. So, yoink. Okay, lamb. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Lamb and mutton. Lamb is the tender meat produced by young domesticated sheep. Its texture is a direct result of what it consumes and the age at which it is slaughtered. The milk-fed varieties of lamb are inclined to yield the most delicate meat. Once a lamb begins to eat grass, the flesh loses some of its tenderness. However, most lamb produced in the United States is finished on a grain diet and is 6 old. Lamb that is allowed to age over 16 months is known as mutton. Mutton is considered to have a more pronounced flavor and texture than lamb. As with other varieties of meat, lamb becomes tougher as it ages. Lamb tends to be fatty. Cool. Its unique flavor pairs nicely with intense seasonings and Shut up. The 5 grades of lamb in order of highest to lowest are prime choice, good quality, and cull. How do I get back in the... Oh, there we go. There it is. These cuts are from the hind saddle, leg, Bart, trimmed loin. Oh, they're numbered. Okay. And 93. Oh, cool. These cuts are from the foresaddle. Good to know. What? Ovine lamb. Kidneys. Stewing braising, that's what I'm doing. Often stewed and served with hearty ingredients such as bacon and mushrooms. What's the thing that I just saw? Like this stuff. Stewing, bone-in or boneless, braising, roasting, most common. Am I gonna have to remember this? I don't want to remember this. Hold on. There we go. Now I can see both the chats. Let's see. Foreshank. It's all the same pretty much, but not really. This one's different, to be fair. Okay, this is the same. Walmart. Anyways, here's a diagram. Alright. Okay. 384. Okay, so this is an actual picture. That's nice. Okay. Boning a leg of lamb. Although this procedure may look difficult, it is possible to do so successfully by following the steps shown in the accompanying illustrations. The leg is covered with a layer of fat and membrane known as the fell. The fat and membrane should be removed carefully, leaving as much edible meat intact as possible. A leg of lamb can be boned out to use in a number of different ways. It can be butterflied and grilled, or rolled, tied, and roasted. The meat can be divided along the natural seams to make small roasts, or sliced into cutlets or cubes. The leg contains the hide, the hind shank bone, the pelvic bones, consisting of the hip bone and the arch bone, I guess, a portion of the backbone and tail, and the leg bone, also known as the femur. Work the tip of the knife around the pelvic bone as you cut into the meat to remove the bones. Use an overhand grip to hold your boning knife and cut with the tip of the blades as you work around the bones and joints. Work the knife tip along the bones to remove as much meat as possible from the bone. Very educational. What was it? It's like 3 more. It's 87. When the meat has been freed, lift the bone up and away from the leg. Okay. You just kind of cut around, I guess. Remove the bone. Yeah, just get it out of there. Frenching. Oh. This technique is one of the more complicated fabrication techniques, but it is not especially difficult to master. Trimmed and Frenched racks or chops can be ordered from a meat poiloir. Pardon my French. I haven't taken French in, of course. But the chef can exercise greater control over trim loss if the work is done in the kitchen. The same technique can be used to French individual ribs, chops of lamb, veal, or pork. Any lean trim can be used to prepare or a stock. Make an even cut through the fat, covering all the way down to the bone. The cut should be about 1 1 1/3 that was 1 1/3. 1 1/3 centimeters from the meat's eye. I don't know what a centimeter is. Sorry. Set the rack on one end and make a stabbing cut between each pair of bones using the initial cut as a guide. Use the tip of the boning knife to score the thin membrane covering the bones. This will allow the bones to break through the membrane easily. Push the bones through the membrane. Use your fingers to stabilize the bottom of the rack while peeling away the cut membranes and pushing the bones out with your thumbs. Okay. Just kind of like slice them there, and they get weak, and then you pull it out. There you go. I'm kind of concerned because we make ice cream, and we use eggs to make it a little creamier. And I had to do that part of de-whiting, I guess, the eggs, removing the egg whites, and I absolutely hated it. It was terrible. I've been told that touching things is important when you're cooking food, so, we'll see where that goes. Well, that was the end. Okay. Key points. Lamb is the tender meat produced by young. Yeah, lamb is okay. The majority of the lamb in American markets, lamb has unique flavor. A leg of lamb can be boned out. Use a number of ways. Okay. Lamb is good though. I've had a shawarma, like for the first time like a year ago. It's so good, but I will say you got to get the chicken and the lamb together. That's the best. If as well if it's seasoned like the real way, you know. Let's see. Okay. A knife is oh crap. Deboning knife? Yeah, okay. That's close enough. Lamb is wait, lamb blank is nutritionally lamb chop. Lamb lamb it's something. I definitely saw it in here. Don't look at this. Is this cheating? Here it is. What? Just okay, it doesn't even say. It's great. This one. Shank is my final answer. Rigged lamb protein. That's entrapment. You're trying to get me to think of something else. We don't need protein here. I can just say lamb. Could I leave? I'm leaving this blank. Even though I'm leaving all of them blank, I'm specifically leaving this one blank. I'll add spaces. This is rigged. Alright, most cuts of can be cooked by any cooking method. I'm gonna say that it's lamb. Whoa, really? Small serving of lamb is equivalent to almost half of the RDA. What's it? Nutrition? Protein? Yeah. There's 3 steps of boning a leg of lamb. You slit the bones by the bones. Pull out the bones. No, you cut the bits around the bones and then you take it off, right? Cut off the fat cover. Yep. Work the knife around the pelvic bone. Lift the bone away. Yep. Cut down the shank. Cutting meat away from the bone. Yeah, it's just like in layers. Alright. By the way, if anybody I know is watching this, I'm gonna be in. Oh, I'm gonna be in voice chat. You'll have to find which one. It's an old one. I sent it to like 2 people, so we'll see. You can hop on and help me with my lamb test. Cool. It took me like 15 minutes to do one of these. This is gonna take forever. I might have to speed through these at one point if I want to get this done by today. It's not just all this. There's a lot more, I'll just say. Okay. Lamb is always fairly tender. However, braising will allow you to use cuts that lack sufficient tenderness on their own to be used with other cooking methods. Shoulder cuts, riblets, shank, necks, and breasts of lamb can be used in a braise. Braising is the combination of cooking methods in which foods are first browned in hot fat, then covered and slowly cooked in a small amount of liquid over low heat. Braising uses a combination of simmering and steaming to transfer heat from the liquid. I know what conduction is. And the air, yep, okay. When you select lamb, pay close attention to its color. The youngest lamb is likely to be the most tender. It will also have the lightest color. Baby lamb is very light pink, while older lamb is dark pink. Okay, this is probably important to doing the cooking and stuff, but I don't have any confidence in myself that I'm going to remember these tiny details. I'm probably just going to have to Google most of this down the line anyways. That's even how many times am I going to cook a leg of lamb? I hope I remember this. Okay, the moist heat used in braising is renowned for its ability to concentrate flavors and tenderize meat. The dish is cooked with the lid on tightly. As a result, the meat is steamed as it cooks and the flavors churn over each other, building on their complexity as they deeply penetrate the meat. Great. The sauce that emerges from a braise is exceptionally rich and full-bodied. You can use a brown stock to begin the sauce. Adding aromatic herbs and vegetables will amplify the effect. Many chefs prefer to begin with a darkly roasted mirepoix, I think, which they puree and combine with a thick tomato concasse. When this base has simmered under a lid with lamb for a few hours, it reaches a new magnitude of flavor. A stew is based on the same kinds of meat. I know what a stew is, man. I know what a stew is. Oh. Okay, what are we doing? Grilling lamb. Grilled lamb chops with rosemary, artichoke, and thing. Roasted lamb. Roast leg of lamb. Okay, this is not anything. Oh. Poaching lamb. Professional chef doesn't include a recipe for steaming or submersion cooking for lamb, so try this simple recipe for poached lamb. I don't have a lamb on me, and I'm not going to buy one. You want to get the garlic good. I've heard that you're not supposed to do this, but what do I know? Yeah, wait, hold on. I wonder if I can actually find this. I thought this was one of the more popular ones. Where is this? Oh, here it is. You sound like golf course or something.
Chef Ramsay, you can't cook for nothing.
All right, big boy, I can't cook for nothing. Show me what you got.
You gotta first make a bunch of holes.
Make too big of holes, you'll dry the lamb out, you donut.
That's what I'm saying.
Whole cloves of garlic? Really?
Better learn something.
Are you serious?
Olive oil,
You don't put olive oil on lamb. It's a leg of lamb, it's got enough fat on it.
pepper,
Oh, come on, really?
put some garlic,
At least put the seasoning in. More garlic?
onions though.
Onion.
Onions, well, you haven't even peeled them. Hey, psst, FYI, your foil's upside down, you donut.
I didn't think you could
All you
do
need,
that.
bro.
Relax.
Relax. You need to wake up. What's that, garlic stuff with lamb? Right now, I wouldn't trust you running my bar. Seriously?
I probably should have pulled it up on the screen, but it's just he's stuffing garlic inside of a lamb like they're telling you to do, and he said it'll dry it out. So I don't know, man. Anyways, what are we doing? Oh my god. Reading assignment. Okay. 571. 580. Oh, here we go. Okay. One of the benefits of braising is that tough cuts of meat become tender as the moist heat gently penetrates the meat and causes the connective tissue to soften. Another benefit is that the flavor is released into the cooking liquid to become the accompanying sauce. Thus, virtually all the flavor is retained. The sauce resulting from a braise also has exceptional body, as the slow cooking breaks down the tough connective tissue and causes them to transform into gelatin. Tender foods, even delicate fish and shellfish, can also be braised. I wonder if I'm even saying, I'm pretty sure I've heard this. To properly braise these kinds of foods, use less cooking liquid and cook the food at a lower temperature for a shorter period of time. The less tender cuts of meat to be braised come from more mature and more exercised animals. These cuts are more deeply flavored than the tender foods used for sautéing and steaming. Braised foods are often left in a single large piece that can be sliced or carved. It's a good idea to truss or tie the meat in order to maintain the proper shape. Food must also be wrapped in lettuce leaves or other covering, like upside down tinfoil, to help maintain the shape and prevent the food from breaking apart during cooking. The cooking liquids usually consist of rich stock for a combination of a stock and a sauce, such as Espagnole, demi-glace, or blah. Oh, that's funny. They used two symbols here. For the main problem. Blah. Okay. I can do this. Method at a glance. Here the main item of all sides in hot fat. Remove the main item. I thought the leg of lamb had enough fat. Remove the main item, add the mirepoix, and sweat it. I don't know how sanitary that is. Add the roux. I don't like how many French words there are in cooking, man. Why can't we just make our own words? If it is being used, return the main item to the bed of mirepoix in the pot. I know they don't ever pronounce the X like an X. Add the liquid, bring it to a simmer over direct heat, cover, finish, and braise. I want to read this. I'm not going to retain this. I know I'm not going to retain this. I don't even remember what I just read. Like, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I said something about France. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know how helpful this is. Used depending on your desired results. Flour may be added either by dusting the main item or by adding it directly to the pan. Bro. Aromatic vegetables? Yeah, they're vegetables. They can't feel love. I guess I did learn how to debone a lamb. I kind of remembered that enough. Properly fabricated meat improves the quality and flavor of the dish. Braising concentrates the natural flavors of the main item. Alright, man, I got it. What is it? Stew? What? Okay. So, where's stew, I guess? Where's the stew? Give me the stew. Yay! Stews share many similarities with braises. From the cuts of meat chosen to the texture of the finished dish, they differ from braises in that the foods are cut into bite-sized pieces and are cooked in more liquid. Stew is just like thick soup with stuff. I guess you can cook a lamb in a stew you've already made. If you want to do that, that's probably what they're talking about. Yeah, it's sauce. It's more of a sauce in a stew instead of a liquid. Has anybody tried the suspicious stew Pringle? I don't know why I'm saying anybody. There's nobody here. But I've had the suspicious stew Pringles. They're like probably I've had one Pringle, I think. No, 2 Pringles. One of them was like some weird Japanese store. And then I had the suspicious stew one, and it was actually really good. I've never had a normal Pringle. Again, I've only had 2. Like, not 2 cans, like 2 chips. I've had 2 chips. And the suspicious stew one was actually pretty good. And it was like 3 years old. And I got it off eBay. So, you know, I'm assuming that the normal ones are fine. Gauge of braising. I'm just going to read this random. Cooking have ladle or skimmer. Skin the stew. Great. White stews such as blankets do not call for the main item to be seared before the cooking liquid is added. Instead, a seasoned cooking liquid is added directly to the uncooked meat. Otherwise, the stewing liquid is added to the pan with the aromatics, and the main item is returned into the stew. Meats, poultry, and fish should be trimmed and seasoned. It may be appropriate to dust these items with flour. Peel and cut vegetables as necessary. Beans and grains may require soaking or part cooking. I'm sure this is interesting, by the way. Oh my gosh. I'm so stressed, like, I look down and there's just hair covering my desk because my hair falls out when I'm stressing out. I took a picture when I was taking a coding class, and I'm, like, desperately trying to, like, retain this information, and I look down and, like, my whole desk is just hair. It's terrible. Okay, whatever. I'm not doing this. I gotta speed this up. It's been 40 minutes, and I got basically nowhere. For additional flavors, during you may use fresh herbs, braising, roasting. Dang, I didn't get to roasting. This is this is way too early. Raised foods may be left in a pot. Large piece. Very. Quite. Large piece. What? Single. Okay, man. Okay. Don't do this to me. Combination of... It's steaming. It's, heating? No. Combination of... It's like, it's like induction and conduction. I don't know. Simmering. Dang. That's what I was thinking. I didn't know the words. Trust me. Those 3 ingredients that may be used to thicken... I got this. Flour? Maybe. Fat? Can I say sauce? Is that an ingredient? Oh, wait. No. Flour? Oh. Nope. I don't, starched vegetables. Starch there. I don't know. It could be, I can't read this. Here's the thing. Like, it's not like these are weirdo French words that I can't read. Like, I can read this. The fact that it looks French makes me not want to learn the definition. Like, this is literally all English letters. It's just that it looks and pronounces French. And it's like weird for me for some reason that I don't want to figure it out because I think it's not, but it's just a word at this point. We don't have a word for this in English, so this is the English word. So I don't know. I'm very discouraged when I see an X. And it's not xylophone. Okay. Over 5,000 years ago, people in ancient China recognized that pigs were almost entirely edible. Whoa, really? Few animals could be expected to feed so many people for so long with such little waste. The Chinese of that era cured the skin of pigs, they grilled the ears, feet, and tail, they made sausage from the intestinal casing and blood. The muscles and organs were cooked by almost every means imaginable, and the lard from pigs was used to cook everything else. Civil War. Pigs retained their popularity because of their hardiness. Like the Chinese Southerners recognized that virtually every part of a pig can be eaten. I don't really like pork. I'm fine with, like, pork belly as, like, bacon and, like, other shapes, obviously. Just like the pork muscles, I don't like how they taste. It's just kind of like worse mixture of chicken and beef. And they're very tender. It's very tough. So I'm not really gonna be cooking this, which is my excuse. Come on. Whatever. Okay. Pork is the meat of domestic... Yeah, I know what pork is. Pork products tend to be high in fats. Okay. Huh. Pigs are typically slaughtered in virtually every part. Okay, yeah. This is like all the stuff that I read here. No, here. My god, why does it have to be 7? Why does it have to be 7 in all these? Whatever. Okay. Center cut pork loins come from the half left. No, it's probably bottom. Weird. That's close enough. Under... I can say a really large number and it'll still be true when you're Okay, yeah, I know I just said that, but honestly, I was kind of thinking 1 year. List 2 preparations derived from a pork loin. I don't know, because I skipped it. Okay. I'm so bored. This would be great if somebody, like, showed up. I know somebody's watching. I have a feeling I know who it is. They're not saying anything. What is this? What is, pew pew pew. What is this emote? 7. Oh god. There's a 7. We've got half of it. Virtual hug. What are these emotes? Kapow, Illuminati, Blargnot, swag. Great. All right. Roasting. We made it. Roasting is a dry heat cooking method that heats food by surrounding it with high. I'm gonna delete these because I keep thinking. Odd view. Never mind. We can go without Twitch chat. How do I delete messages? Okay, it's fine. Blah blah. The term is usually used in reference to baking bread, pastries, vegetables. Wait, what? So you roast, and it's referring to baking bread. Wouldn't you bake bread if it's called baking bread instead of roasting bread? Because that's what you do, you bake it. Is it the same? I mean, sounds the same. I don't know. When pigs are roasted on a spit over bonfire in the forest, there's little doubt that they were roasting. What? It sounds like Dr. Seuss. They're put in the oven in a pan to be roasted or baked. So it's like you can use roast or bake in the same sense. I don't know. This distinction isn't as clear. What? Whatever, man. Where is it? Your text states that the roasting prefers most often to whole birds or fish. Large cuts of meat meant to serve many people. The term baking, okay, here we go, applies only to single portion sized foods. If I bake a loaf of bread, I'm not eating that whole loaf by myself in one sitting. What is the meaning of this? Whatever. The trouble with this distinction is that the whole cakes and breads are okay, bro. I'm just pre-reading. Not roasted besides that portion. Size can be. It's true that roasted foods are often cooked on top of the stove before being placed in the oven. However, if that's the distinction, there will have to be more names for cooking methods that start by browning. Okay, I don't care about the etymology of the word roast. This is not helpful. Why are you telling me this? You're making everyone who reads this incredibly bored and tired, and they don't want to move on to the actual knowledge that they're trying to get. I don't care. If, like, they're in this paragraph, they're like, so here's the difference between roasting and baking. Well, technically, it's the same exact thing. It's just for when you're cooking different food. Well, technically it's more of a portion size thing, but bread outweighs that, so nothing really matters anyways, and you just wasted all your time. Whatever. Reflect and respond. With the pork you cut into chops. Oh, wait, hold on. I just realized something. I forgot to send this to you on your phone. Duh. Where are you? There you are. Get in here. Alright, anyways. Kitchen supplies. I'm guessing, yeah, you'll need the following. Alright. Utility knife, dish for chops, pan, chef's knife, blah blah blah. With your pork cut into chops, prepare the baked stuffed pork chops on page. Okay. Lamb shanks you prepared. I didn't prepare. Are they expecting me to, like, follow along with this while I'm cooking? Because this took me like 20 minutes. And I'm... Okay, man. Okay. Who the heck is Timberston? I wonder if they're somebody I know. It's because I just sent somebody that I know the link, and that's fun. All right, cool. All right. I'm trying to find. I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to find any word that starts with N. Let's see. I don't think there's a single one. I might just be missing them. I'm blanking as well. Because now I'm... Dude, what? There's no words that start with N ever. I don't know. They don't exist. They've been erased. Where did it go? What? The wives of the village waited expectantly at home to see whether or not their husbands would bring home the bacon. This is very important for cooking, by the way. Let's see. Key points. This will sum up everything that I've just learned, I'm sure. Roasting is a dry... You must cook a succulent meal. Yo, what's up? 2 first-time chatters. That's crazy. I will cook a succulent Chinese meal after this. There's a lot of China talk as well. Alright, roasting a dry heat cooking method that heats food by surrounding it with dry, hot air, whatever, is closed environment. The distinction between roasting and baking is somewhat blurry. This is not helpful. To develop additional flavor and color, sear the item before roasting. Basting can add both flavor and moisture to the meat if the food is lean and does not release enough fat of its own. For basting, consider using melted butter or marinades. Meats such as beef brisket, pork shoulder, and beef or pork ribs are ideal for smoking, which involve cooking the meats at a low temperature for many hours to make them very tender. Use an instant read thermometer to determine doneness in roasted foods. You guys getting this? Use the thermometer. Serve roasted foods with a pan sauce based on the accumulated drippings of the food from the food. I'm almost at the review as well. I better be able to rely on anybody to tell me all the answers instead of learning them myself. You're gonna look back on this day when you're 40 and be amazed that you remember how to cook a succulent Chinese meal. I know, right? This is what's gonna teach me everything I need to know about Chinese meals. And it's all gonna be from this one day. Roasting is a cooking method. I feel like this is a complete sentence. I don't know. They don't tell me like how I'm supposed to fill in this. Roasting is a good cooking method. Is a hot cooking method. Is easy, difficult. Let's see. Dry heat. Shoulda known. I was close. Think or smoking produces a fragrant scent and somewhat sweet taste in pork. Succulent. Good answer. I don't know how delayed that was, but I'll put it in. Can we just there we go. Oh, there we go. It's all this. Roasted foods are often served with succulents or gravy made from pan drippings. Curing has been valued for its ability to succulently or smoking produces fragrant scents. I don't know what this is curing. Remember that. It's like a Telltale game. I will remember that it is curing. Yes. Oh, it's right here as well. They told me afterward. Curing has been valued for its ability to enhance the fragrant scents and succulentize. That's cheap. Extend the life. Oh wait, no, that's what they mean. I see. Okay. No, that works. I thought it was more of a metaphysical sense of the word life, but that's fine too. They're not specific enough for me. I'm too stupid. Roasted foods are often served with or gravy stew. Just dang it, I don't even know what this is. Let's figure out what is just. Not Justin Bieber. Oh, it's just like a sauce. Wait a minute. A thin gravy made with cheese. Okay, so it's just gravy. Gravy or gravy. I hate French people, man. They're trying to make everything worse for people who actually care. They probably made in the French version of this, the whole roasting versus baking thing is probably the whole lesson, the whole book. In roasting, a rack will improve. It's not succulentness. Maybe it is. It could be, actually. Air circulation. Actually, I think that's the reverse of succulentness. So, we're just gonna do anti-succulentness. I wonder if I could make these work. Succulent gravy. Curing as it's been valued to. Yeah, that's good. Curing. Never mind. Whatever. All right. Flashcards. Here we go. Try to define the term before you flip the card. Oh boy. Alright. Fell? Crap. That's like cutting the membrane, right? Yeah, okay. No, that is the membrane. You just cut the fell. Okay. This one's when you don't love people. So close. Why are these messed up scaling? Oh, it's probably the text underneath. Okay. Braise. This is like coating it in stuff, right? Or no, cooking it in like sauce. Searing it in fat, then simmering it as well. Yeah, I'm kind of there. I'm kind of there. Oh, I didn't look. Okay, I'm blurring my eyes. I can't read this. This is too much space for this. All right, whatever. Isn't this like a utensil, a truss, or is it? It's like a thing you stab it with to tie up no, completely wrong. That's nice. Okay, conduction. This is literally just a case of which one's which, honestly. I know what the things are. I think conduction is... I've got a 50-50 chance at this, honestly. Conduction is when you cook it inside something and there's heat all around it. And convection, I think, is when it's only from the bottom or one side. Crap. I was completely backwards. Okay. That's not good. So, yeah. Great. Conduction is stove, and convection is the oven. Pretty much. Is this like another sauce? Oh, wait, no. This is a salad. Okay. This is stew salad. This is the ingredients you put inside of the stew. Peeled... Oh, I didn't even... Okay, I don't know what this is, but I guess it's tomatoes. Why can't it just be, like, tomato chunks, tomato peels? I have no idea. I've never read this word in my life. Cut into slivers. Okay. Sure. Roasting is just baking, but not baking, but like when it's more than one thing, unless it's like a bread, then it's not. Yeah. Cooking on a large skewer, open flame. Okay. I don't know why I'm closing these, honestly. Rendered juices is just cooking them, right? They remain after roasting the food, also known as pan dripping. Yeah, it's like after you cook it, they're there. This is the oil and the fat. Barding and larding. What? Covering lean meat with thin sheets of fat back or bacon. So I'm guessing that's covering it in fat or lard. Inserting strips of fat back. Okay, so this one's covering it in fat. This one's coating it. No, this one's covering it in fat. This one's putting the fat in the lamb or whatever. Okay. Cool. I've been doing this for an hour. That sucks. I need more encouragement. More people need to tell me to say the N-word, man. I'm not going to be able to make it out of this. Practice test that doesn't count for my grade. The graded one obviously does. Briz and stews. God, I'm gonna fail this. Cannot braise a tender meat such as self. I'm going back to the flashcards, man. What? It's at the very top, I think. Method of cooking meat by searing it in fat. I know what a stew is, so I guess they don't. They know that I know. So they're not going to tell me. Just to make sure I'm correct. That's not in the flashcard. But I think that could be right. Oh, this is definitely right. I don't know about this. There's probably a way. When there's a fish, there's a way. What is the benefit of using a roasting pan with relatively low slides? I guess I'm trying to think about it before looking at the question so I can, like, see which one is more good or... What is the benefit of roasting pan? So you wanna do that, obviously, because it makes it not heat up the sides as much. I don't know. Maybe you want it to not pile up. Okay, too heated and moves using the evidence. I am probably terribly wrong, because none of that sounds like what I said. All of these sound like good options. This might be the best. I don't know. Sharna is preparing a roasted chicken. Why is she using cornmeal? Coating it? Oh, it could be the sauce. It could be... I think it might be this, like, crust. I don't know why it's on a roasted chicken, though. That's what's throwing me off. When barbecuing or smoking meat is important that you... Otherwise the meat will dry out. And a dry rub. I feel like you make that... Dry rub makes it more dry. Don't trim too much fat. I think that could be it. This doesn't help with the inside. I think this could be it. Because you want a little bit, or else it'll be terrible, obviously. So yeah, okay. Which roast is best carved by laying the roast on its side? I think beef. Because I've seen the pictures of the lamb and it's always... Oh, wait. But is it talking about how you normally put it... Wait. It's not duck, obviously. I don't know what it's trying to say. Like, if the animal is standing up, then obviously that's not how you lay the leg on anything. Except maybe the duck. I'm just gonna... It doesn't matter. I'm doing this. It's preparing a delicious new recipe for braised lamb shanks with rosemary and red wine. He has seared the meat and added the mirepoix. What is the next step?
Lay!
Oh. I'm just double checking. I don't think it's on the other thing. Oh yeah, vegetables. See, I can't remember anything. I mean, is it assuming that he's already added the rosemary? With rosemary and red wine, he has seared the meat and added the vegetables. What is the next step? Is the rosemary part of the meat and whatever? Because I would say do that. There is no sauce, is there? Is there always a sauce? It doesn't say anything about a sauce. I guess this is a sauce. Seared the meat. I think maybe it is this. I don't know, man. I'm terrible at this. Oh, that's definitely under 1 year. Technically under 5 years is true though, right? Like, surely it can't be that wrong, because it encompasses all of them. Which cooking method combines simmering and steaming to transfer heat? Okay. Right. I'm just... I think it's stewing. Mutton. Baking. This is not important. Why are you testing me on this? Raw received several shipments of pork. Some are marked USDA grade 2, some are labeled acceptable, and some have no grading at all. Why is it accurate conclusion that raw can make about the quality of the cuts of pork? I feel like acceptable sounds like way worse than it is, but I don't know. I think this is right. The cuts with no grading are lower. I feel like no grading is not necessarily bad grading. Unless I'm wrong, and that's just part of it. When preparing stews, when should seasoning be applied? I think before... Chat, am I cooked? Which technique adds both moisture and flavor? I think basting. It's pretty based. Every time Chemo makes smoked venison, the meat does not cook evenly. What should he do to fix this? Stop eating venison. It's disgusting. Tastes like dirt. You should make sure the meat sits for 5 minutes before serving. Doesn't cook. Ah, is it cooking too much on the inside? I can't help you there. What you should do is cook it on a lower temperature for a less amount of time. Number 1 is stupid. This doesn't matter. That doesn't make sense. It'd cook way faster. The rack. Yeah. Which pork cut is used for grilling? What the heck is cottage butt? I think the top round. I've heard the words top round in many cooking shows my dad's watched. So half. That's what. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Heather is making Mediterranean chicken stew for her health-conscious friends and realizes she needs to thicken it. What's her best option? No. Yeah, that's the closest to succulent. Hold on, what? I was just looking in the chat, right? And there's this Timberston guy. I think it might be somebody I know. Did you just delete the account immediately after telling me to say the N-word? What? Oh. Which kind of regional style barbecue carrot? I think too many sauces. It's definitely Texas. Right? That's not important to cooking. It's like, honestly, more of a geography question. Did I get it right? No, it was Kansas City. Isn't all barbecue sauce like tomato based? Am I stupid? Well, I got most of these right somehow. I was about to say wrong because I was that confident. But this is the last one of this thing, Culinary Arts 3. I'm gonna go practice what I preach and make some crappy quesadillas. Goodbye. Hello. I'm back. I got a picture of it. I'll just see if I can fix it. There we go. This is huge. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Why is it so big? You can kind of see it. It's insane how big this is. Can I? Okay, here we go. Here it is. Looks pretty good, gotta say. Dang, I'm at one viewer. I think it's myself, actually. I definitely finished this, whatever. Alright. That's pretty good. Oh god. What the heck? I don't know. I don't know. Going back to the flashcards. Searing it in fat seems like it's the first start, or first step, okay. Am I looking at the right thing? Raise. Searing it in fat, then... Oh, it connected. I don't know what that's about. That's cool. Mm-mm. Yeah, here we go. Okay, what am I doing? I gotta, like, speed this up, honestly. It's already been, like, 3.5 hours, and I've just done this. So, I'm not sure. See what's gonna happen. I guess season it. It should be what's it? I don't even remember. Okay. Which of the following cuts is ideal for smoking? Brisket. Yeah, I've had smoked brisket. Is called barding. Surely. That's the right one. I don't want to check the flashcards again. It takes so long. You order chops from the butcher. Chef A says that the butcher's first steps will be to cut the backbone away from the rib bones. Chef B says the first step will be to cut the chine bones away from the rib bones. They're both incorrect. What bones do you cut away first for ribs? This will definitely help. So yeah, they're both wrong. Because you want to cut the fell first. Wait, what? When it comes to the topic of roasting, which of these statements is true? Smoking requires cooking over an open flame. Very relevant. Braising is like grilling, then typically roasting. What? I think this is true. Meats never roast quickly, even at high temperatures. Okay, man, there's an extent to the temperature thing, I'm sure. This sounds right. Which of the following included among Lamb Hotel rack primal cuts? I just read a bunch of gibberish. Split boneless all the way. As a cooking method, braising is valued for its yeah. It's not. I don't know. Stressing out now because this is the graded one. When preparing a braised meat, you remove the lid for the final part of the cooking time to... You don't want it to... Like, I know, but I don't know. It's weird. I think this is it, though. Like, you want it to not be steamed too much. It's to carve if you... I don't know. I think this is it, because they were talking about this earlier. You're observing another chef cut bone-in chops, which of the following is correct? Oh no. I think this is it. Wait, cut through the bone? That's not right. Between each rib bone with the chef's knife. Could be. Could be. Lamb is most delicate and tender if it's fed milk. I hope. Hold on. Grains. I feel like they definitely said don't feed them grains, but maybe I'm stupid. Chef A states that roasted foods should be given a resting period. Chef B argues that the resting is needed to assist the carryover cooking. What is a carryover cooking? Probably gonna turn this off after this, because it is taking too long and nobody's here. The heck is... What is carryover cooking? I don't care about Gemini. Who are you? Who are you? Oh my god. Stop updating Google while I'm looking at Google. Move ingredients from a heat source, but the cooking doesn't stop. Okay. I think B. Can't be both. I think it's the shape, right? That's the only way, that's the only reason you tie it down. Marinade. Surely. Whole pork loin, it's cheaper. Searing food only until the surface begins to stiffen. I guess. I don't know what this means. I know what these mean. These three are things I know. Oh dear. I'm just gonna double check because I think I know what a roasting pan is. I'm just gonna. Okay, I'm wrong. Oh no, I'm right. Some of these don't have lids. I'm just gonna say high sides. Ooh. Reduce cooking time. I feel like wine would not thicken it, though. Does wine? This isn't anything. This is a stupid question, but I'm assuming the answer is no. No comma and then the paragraph from Gemini. Why is it taking so long? It's not that deep. Yay! Okay, so it is this one. So I'm scared to look up French rack on stream. So we're just gonna have to go with this because I think that's the right one. That's not good. That means I failed. Yikes. Oh, God, I hate French racks. Why are they ruining my education? Alright, whatever. Well, it was a good try to do it all in one day. I didn't even get past this. Maybe another